All right, let's go to a little bit of music news here. So Edwin shares this, and a lot of you guys know this. I've talked about this a lot. I'm a big Nirvana fan, which we'll get to our song of the day after this. Check this out. Nirvana is going to release a Live and Loud album on vinyl and streaming services. All right, so what's the deal with this live album? Nirvana are set to release their Live and Loud live album digitally and on vinyl for the first time. The 1993 live show, recorded at Pier 48 in the band's hometown of Seattle, was recorded by MTV just after the band had played their iconic MTV Unplugged set in New York City. The set was then released under the name Live and Loud for the 20th anniversary of In Utero in 2013, and next month it will come to streaming services and vinyl for the first time. And this will be released by Geffen on August 30th. That's pretty cool. You know, it's one of those things where when it's a band who has a legacy like Nirvana, and especially when it's a band who's in the situation of Nirvana where they're not around anymore. Kurt Cobain's dead, so there's not going to be any new music from them unless it's something that has been previously recorded and unreleased. You know, a lot of times the industry will kind of repackage things. They'll make a new anniversary, a new remix, and you know, oftentimes it's just a kind of repackaging of something that's already out there, and it's kind of more marketing than anything else. But in the case of Nirvana, and I'm not saying run out and buy this or don't run out and buy this. That's your choice. You know, do what you want. But in the case of Nirvana, there is so much unreleased stuff. You know, after he died, you know, it was pretty much made clear there was a lot of unreleased stuff that was out there. Which is pretty remarkable that happened, considering all the problems the band was having, considering Kurt Cobain's drug problems, considering Kurt Cobain was in and out of rehab, considering the family issues with the daughter. I mean, it's pretty amazing that there's still all these recordings out there. So a lot of times there is actually something that hadn't been available before that comes to the surface, because there's been the legal battles between Courtney Love and the other members of the band who kind of want this stuff out there. They think, hey, you know, this would be great to give to the fans. Courtney Love traditionally had been a little more protective, and to my knowledge still is, but then is kind of allowing some of it to get out there. So I actually did not check out any of the Live and Loud stuff when it was released initially with the In Utero repackage, because again, like a lot of that repackaged stuff, I just kind of, you know, if I hear about it, great. If I don't, I usually don't really feel like I'm missing anything. But I would be curious to see that concert at Pier 48. You know, I used to live in Seattle, Washington, and Pier 48 is kind of down there a little ways. You know, most of the main kind of touristy areas are like Pier 66, Pier 59. You know, so it's kind of in that number. So Pier 48 is a little further down, a little more towards kind of the actual docks. So it's a badass place for a concert, but it's not like they were playing a concert right near the tourist tour boats, which I'm not dissing on the tour boats, by the way. I used to work on one of those, so I'm not dissing those. But, you know, it's not like they were in the heart of Tourist Central. They were kind of amidst the real Seattle at Pier 48, especially back in 1994. So that's pretty cool that they did the show there. And one thing I also didn't realize it was post Unplugged that they did that. I didn't realize it was like a concert they did post Unplugged in New York. I mean, after Unplugged, you know, a lot of folks just kind of associate that with pretty much the end. So, but I guess they did do some pretty active stuff. So I do look forward to checking out some tracks from that. It'll be the band with Pat Smear, which, you know, it's kind of like my favorite incarnation. I like Pat Smear a lot, so I do like that inception of the band. But cool. So, yeah, I look forward to checking out some tracks from that.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make